Welcome back to Swancast then, everyone. A little bit of a dull game, but I think it's a good point for everyone. Chris, you look. Okay, welcome back, everyone, to Swans Cast. We got a debut today from Scott, so welcome, Scott.
Thank you.
So yeah, a little bit of a anticlimax, I guess, in terms of the performance, but a good point in the end. So what do you think of that result then, Lee?
Yeah, it was a good point in the end. I think we got away with murder though, didn't we? Because I wouldn't say they battered us, but we weren't in that game at all, were we? And then literally just our second shot of the game, a free kick that's gone straight through. But I guess it's just one of them games that you've got to sort of drag a result out of, and that's the sort of results that get you promoted, really.
Yeah, I think you summed that up quite well. What do you reckon about that, then, Scott?
Yeah, I agree with everything that Lee said, basically.
Nothing to add?
No, it was just a get out of jail free card game, wasn't it? Really, I think. Yeah, we didn't play well. Played terrible. I think it was one of the worst we've seen all season. But like you said, promotion game that is, isn't it? Get that goal, get that point, go back to second in the table, and move on.
Anything you'd like to add then, Chris?
Well, my opinion of Thomas Frank hasn't changed. He's still You might have to beat that.
Have you got a different word you would like to use for him?
Not really.
They are ridiculous, though, aren't they? I know without the crowd, you could just hear everything, and that bench just doesn't shut up all games.
Yeah. Well, I agree with everything you said, and before giving my match review, I was going to say, in regards to what you said about the bench kicking off Norton's first yellow card, I know that Scott feels it could have well have been a red card. I personally think it was enough in terms of people back, far enough away from goal. It wasn't in the middle of the pitch, it was out near the touchline. The other two centre-backs were at least in line. So personally, I think yellow was correct, but the bench was definitely not in agreement from Brentford's side.
Oh, I don't think that wasn't a red card, because I don't know who was on the other side, but they would have had ample time to come across.
Yeah, I don't think he actually needed to make the foul, because the ball was sort of going inwards towards where he was covering back. So I don't actually think he needed to bring him down.
Yeah.
But I think it was a yellow. Probably.
I think, to be honest, it was a bit of a 50-50 that Norton's maybe... You'd say, I don't know, he's experienced and he's been caught out a little bit, like Tony's got his hands in the air, I think he catches his face or his neck or something. And maybe there's a bit of give here and there from both of them, but the end result is he puts him on the floor, and that's what the ref is always going to see. So I guess maybe he just needs to not react to... I mean, I don't think it was purposeful, the hand to the neck, but you're raising your arms, and I guess he's just sort of lost his composure a bit and brought him down. But yeah, I guess... Well, in the end, he's got sent off, so I guess the point in the end is decent. But first half then, a little bit poor, I think. We didn't really see anything from us until right at the end. What do you make of the first half?
What, you mean the goal?
No, the goal wasn't in the first half, was it?
No, I think Chris is talking about at the end our goal, isn't
it? Yeah.
What do you make of the first half performance then, of Sourley again?
Yeah, it was pretty poor, wasn't it? I've said it on the last couple of podcasts that they play in that game where they sort of sit back and allow teams to come at them, knowing that they're not going to concede goals. But I think it's dangerous to sort of do that all the time, especially against sides like Brentford and the teams at the top end of the league. That if one of those chances goes in, he probably should have scored in that first half. That one big chance that they had, then it would have been a different game. But again, it's hard to be too critical though, because they still hung in there and still got a result. But I would like to see us push on and force the issue a bit more, especially at home.
Yeah.
Not to sit back too much, but still, I can't complain too much.
I think you are right in a way, like, in this game that was what happened, but obviously the last two league home games are Watford and Reading, who are also rivals to our position in the league. And to be fair, we didn't play like that against them, so maybe it was the way they set up. It could have been a bad day at the office, we don't really know, but bottom line is we didn't lose, I guess, but it was disappointing to see us maybe sitting back so deep, Although I think there was only 1 or 2 chances where Brentford really looked like scoring. I think it was that one you mentioned on the header. And then you could say that the ball played over the top to Fulton or low, and they got in each other's way. You know, we could have done better with that as well. So as much as we didn't create something, we still, at least there was one opportunity. But yeah, have you got anything to add to that then, Scott?
Can we just praise how good Freddie Woodman is? He's class.
Yeah.
Especially his distribution.
He kept not his kick. The saves he pulled off that game. Probably the best saves he's made all season.
There was one in the second half.
Yeah, he kept us in that game.
Yeah, a couple in the second half, point blank. Like, was it Tony that went through and shot? Like, he didn't know much about it, but the reactions were, he should have scored. Let's be honest, that should have been a goal.
If we go up, I reckon they might try and sign him permanently. But if we stayed down, he's going. He won't be back next season if he is still in Championship.
Oh, I guess it depends on that Arsenal interest.
Haven't they signed some guy from Brighton, haven't they?
It's our 6-month loan deal.
Yeah.
Oh, was it?
But yeah, we'd have more chance going up, and I think we would try. But then, well, maybe it depends, isn't it? Maybe he likes it here. Maybe he would choose us first team.
The only problem would be then is his price is obviously going to be a bit higher than.
Should have had a loan with option to buy, shouldn't we?
Potentially, Newcastle potentially look like, they're in a relegation battle. So, if best case scenario we did go up and they went down, maybe it would be affordable. But I guess that's up to Woodman then if he wants to essentially move sideways, where he's going from not even playing at Newcastle to being on the bench at Arsenal, bigger club and all that. Maybe playing the Europa League, or does he want a season playing first choice keeper in the Prem? And then you just have to wait and see what he says. So it's not like Arsenal are the team they used to be either. Yeah,
but then you got to weigh up the other things as well. Do you want to have a year living, on the Thames in a nice flat, or are you going to end up living in Mayhill? It's
Mayhill.
it's the decisions
the Welsh Riviera.
Nothing wrong with Mayhill.
But years are left on his contract though at Newcastle right now.
Is it only a year? Is it?
Must be. Yeah, I think
he signed a new contract. Did
he?
He?
Yeah, there was talks about it last year. I can't remember. I think he wanted reassurances, and I was under maybe when. I don't know. Was Ra when did? I'm not sure. I don't know the details of it. So I wouldn't like to say, but there was definitely a time where
it'll change again.
Yeah.
He did sign the contract like right before he came back, didn't he? I think.
So in the summer, then was it?
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
All right. Fair enough.
It'll change again because I can't see Bruce being there at the start of next season anyway.
Maybe they'll go down. The keeper they're gone now will go, and then they'll want him to stay. But I guess if they do go down and the clubs after them from a higher league, they can't really. Well, it'd be hard for them to keep him, but we'll see. We'll see what happens with that one. Okay, Chris. Difficult game, but who would you say for the Swans was the standout performer?
Oh, now you're asking, aren't you? The keeper, Woodman.
So we're staying with Woodman. What about you two?
Yeah.
Lee?
Yeah.
Same Scott.
I think, Fulton for me as well, because it seemed to put his foot on everything in midfield.
Fulton.
And then first half was absolutely rubbish. He seemed to be the standout for me.
But Lee, you didn't get top bins. You can't put him man of the match if he didn't get top bins. You need a Fulton top bin.
He didn't you see it?
No, yeah.
Didn't you see it?
He was in practice.
Scottish
in the warm-up. He's in the warm-up, it was.
So yeah, speaking of Fulton top in, so obviously we spoke about our predictions in the last video with John, who's not here now. So I also asked Scott and Chris what their predictions were. And Scott, what did you go with again before the game?
I went for 2-0 Swans, Fulton top bins, and Jamal Lowe.
Yeah. And Chris.
Definitely paid off.
Yeah.
What do you mean top bins? I don't understand.
Top corner.
All right.
Oh God.
Can we keep that in?
That's definitely going to be a clip. And what did you say, Chris?
1-0 Houlihan.
Yeah, he did.
For
To
the
be fair, he
boys.
said 1-1 Horahan, and that's come in. So when I put the table together, it'll be a full round of points for Chris on our first round of predictions. So I'll get the table inserted. So if you're watching, you'll be able to see that on the screen now. I haven't actually done it yet, so I can't tell you what the rest of the table's looking like. But yeah, we'll get that on Twitter as well. I did jump all over the place a little bit, so I'll probably clip it around. But going back to the game then, the red card. What do we make of Norton's second yellow card? When I watched it the first time, I personally thought there wasn't too much in it, but he obviously didn't get the ball, and there was a little bit of contact. So, are we saying it's a fair decision, Scott?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was. Should have been off in the first half, shouldn't he? Anyway.
Yeah, it was a yellow. Yeah, definitely a second yellow.
Yeah. I think he was he just got caught late, and he I just a bit slow to the mark, I guess. You can't really say much more than that. Definitely put us in a negative position, but I think the goal as well, and if we're moving on to the goal, I thought it was quite poor the way that the header went in. I don't know what you make of the goal.
Yeah.
From then box standard, not going to grumble about it. Was what it was.
I mean, maybe I'm being a bit harsh, but I think the amount of crosses to put in that play, I think Woodman had made 2 saves in that passage of play as well. And it just seemed the goal, like the way they ended up scoring was just rubbish. Like, I don't know, maybe it was just a bit disappointing, I guess. Yeah, what was you saying, Lee?
I think my mic is still really far behind it all.
Yeah, it's all right.
No, I was just going to say, I think we just had the red card, didn't we? And I think we were pretty set up before that. So I think that was just a little sort of push that they needed, really. And I think we were still trying to find our shape after the red card. And quarters, but it was quite soft. But I think we were just trying to.
It was coming as well. They were like knocking on the door for quite a while, and I guess at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter how it's gone in, but it's gone in, isn't it? So, but yeah, got to talk about then going straight up the other end. Horahan whipping in a free kick.
He meant it. He was going straight in anyway.
It was poor by the keeper though, wasn't it? Keeper should have got something on there.
I haven't seen any replays of anything yet since the game, so it's hard to obviously recall everything that happened because that happened quite fast. But so the keeper comes and flaps at it basically, then he just misses everyone.
Yeah, I don't know if whoever the Swans guy on him was, if he pushed him out of the way, but he should have had something on that.
A prime Chris Richards.
That was robbery. You'd be fuming as a Brentford fan now, wouldn't you? How they didn't win that game, we never know.
Can't say. I feel sorry for them.
To be fairly, they were crying before, so it's not going to make much difference, is it?
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah,
they were crying about everything. They were crying about the ball boys as well. I think the ball was too slow coming back on, and probably raining too much for them as well. It's just ridiculous.
They were very rowdy, but yeah, I think it was Alan. Who was in the commentary? Was it Aaron Curtis? Yeah, I thought it was. He's he was, when the goal went in, I think he was expecting the ref to blow up because he made a comment saying, "Oh, he's letting the goal stand, or he's not blown for a foul." So maybe there was a slight push in there, but I think we'll need to see that again. But we're not going to complain. Obviously, take it. But
are you going to clip the highlights in?
You are? No.
Are you going to? Oh, okay.
Don't want to get copyright, do we? I don't know if any of you have seen the celebration pictures, but on Twitter you can see, and it's quite a good picture of everyone jumping towards Horahan, and just Roberts is just in the air, just going mad.
I think Kabanga's got the same face every time a Swans goal goes in. Even if he scores it or someone else scores, he has that same face.
Yeah.
What does it look like, Scott?
He goes.
It's a good impression.
I think we'll have to blur that out.
Okay, just as a roundup of the match then, I guess it just shows how poor that we did play. So Brentford had 65% of the possession. They had a total of 21 shots compared to 2 for Swansea. 5 of which were on target compared to 1 for Swansea, and then you could probably argue that it wasn't even a shot.
It bloody was, you meant
those are the stats on FIFA when you throw your pad out the window. Isn't it?
Football Manager Classic.
Will you throw your one out the window, Lee?
Controller.
All right.
5 big chances for Brentford, none for Swansea, and 4 big chances missed for Brentford. So
To be
yeah,
honest, we were let off the hook.
yeah, definitely let off the hook. I don't think anyone could be too disappointed with the draw. Even if we were optimistic going into it. So yeah, at the end of the day, it's a good point, and I think not losing is more important than necessarily than getting the win in the match against the opposition in the playoffs and for automatic promotions.
They were the first team I'd seen this season really don't handle our like back 3/5 really well. They were always getting into the space behind like the fullbacks. Like you didn't see Horahan all game apart from the goal. You notice he was just getting dragged out to like left back because they were just getting in those gaps left by the fullbacks. But we'll take it.
Yeah. Well, there's a reason they haven't lost since the 24th of October. Quite a long run without a defeat in the league. I know they lost in the cup the other day. I think one last talking point though that I would like to bring up before we end this video.
Yeah, sure.
The substitutions in the game. What's all our opinions on the substitutions? And Scott, I know you wanted to talk about this.
Absolute shocking. He does the same all the time though. Like I thought he changed a couple of games back where he started making substitutions like way earlier, but this time I don't know why he didn't. I know we didn't get anything going forward, did we? Nothing at all. Like we were strong at the back until the red card, but surely you need to change something up front at that point or in the middle just to get something going.
Yeah.
It was just a weird decision.
Paid off, isn't it? I mean, draw's probably the best result.
It did pay off. I'll agree with you though that I was calling for substitutions probably on like 60 minutes before the red card. I probably wouldn't have substituted Norton, and it's easy to say in hindsight that he had a yellow and take him off. But I probably would have. Although saying that you've got 5 subs these days, which I wasn't really considering at the time. But I think I was calling for Horahan or Fulton based on them being midfielders with the yellows to be one of them to be swapped with Danda. If you're going to say in terms of performance, I would have said Horahan was quieter, but then he went on to score, so that wouldn't have happened. And Morris probably for Lowe. Probably the two that I was calling for around 60-minute mark. Just because Morris would have offered a bit of pace, perhaps at the time we wouldn't get it much. Maybe we could have done a little bit more, like play it into the corners, let him run onto it. I know Lowe does do that, but we haven't seen him yet. But from what we've seen and heard, Morris has got a good bit of pace about him, and Danda just to try and get on the ball and start playing through the lines a bit in the middle. What do you think, Lee?
Yeah. Well, nothing really to add on what you said. I agree with the substitutions. It's the one mark you can say against it, really, Cooper. Like he hasn't done anything wrong up to now, really. But I don't know why he's so reluctant to make changes all the time. And if you're sat on the bench for the Swans, you think you're never getting on. The way it's going, he rarely makes a sub.
Yeah.
And I think that game was definitely crying out for 1 or 2, like you said. But results speak volumes.
Yeah. Would you have made any changes then, Chris?
Not really. Maybe we'll brought that Morris guy on to see what he had to offer, but no, I'm sticking with Cooper on that one.
Fair enough. I mean, at the end of the day, he's got the result that was probably a lot of us didn't think we were going to get after the red card. So you've got to credit him for that. But like hindsight again, innit? Like if we didn't get that goal, everybody would have been on his back about subs. Although I think he had a double substitution lined up just before they scored, so maybe he changed it on the spot.
Yeah, he did. Fair.
Looking at the bench though, there was an inclusion of Daniel Williams, who is a midfielder from the youth academy. So I guess that's due to the injury of Smith, but there's another prospect potentially coming through there. Other than that, not really got much else to add.
Smith,
yeah.
Do you think that was a game we definitely missed him though? Like, he's like the unspoken person all the time in every single game, isn't he?
Yeah.
And it just showed how much we missed him today.
You don't really see necessarily. I don't want to be too harsh. We don't necessarily see what he does in terms of headlines. He does a lot. We don't necessarily see it like the headline stuff. But obviously, when he wasn't there, I mean, the stats don't really lie. We didn't really have control of that game at all, did we? So, arguably, you could say that was a massive part of the reason, and Horahan potentially is just, he's new, isn't he? Getting used to the system, getting used to the players. So I think his hands were tied, though. I think I heard before kick-off that Smith had a hamstring injury, so hopefully he's not going to be out for too long. So yeah, got anything else to add at the end of that then, lads?
Up the Swans.
No, not much. Just we're going up, obviously.
Yeah. Going up.
Don't you know it, pump it up.
That's going to be the
Chance
point that
going
sees
up.
us get promoted.
Well, can you imagine it's the 1 point that keeps us 1 point ahead of Brentford? That would be...
Oh, we didn't win because Bennett didn't play. He would have scored. He would have put it top ins.
Yeah.
He would have definitely put it
He
top
wouldn't have got
ins.
sent off, I don't think, for the same reason Norton did, but I don't want to be too harsh on Norton. I don't think it was it's not deliberate or anything, but
Yeah,
we were under the cosh.
You've done quite well off Norton in the past week as well, now, so don't slag him off now.
Still trying to stay in the good books.
Yeah. But one last thing, actually. Bidwell, I thought was quite poor. Would you bring Manning in for the next game?
Yes. I want to try him. I like Manning as a player.
I think he...
Yeah, I do like Manning.
He's more positive going forward, isn't he?
Then again, come on, Bidwell's like Carlos.
But again,
Bidwell,
I think... No, I think, like I said earlier about Brentford, I think they got it tactically right. Connor Robertson didn't get forward that much either, like he usually does. I think they were just pinned back a bit. They handled that well, but I'd like to see Manning have a run out because he was good in that cup game. And
yeah.
Get him in.
I'm not necessarily saying Bidwell is in a position where he's awful and needs to be dropped, but I feel like Manning's had a few good appearances. Bidwell is probably not reaching the same standards that he reached at the start of the season. So maybe swapping out the team just gives him that little bit of a kick up the bum to get back to where he was earlier this season. He scored a couple of goals and was close to scoring another few in the early days. So we haven't really seen that side of him recently, I don't think. Like I said, I'm not criticising him. We've been playing really well, but just in terms of keeping competition high, I think that's one thing we could look at. But yeah, we'll talk more about that in the pre-match for Rotherham. So round off today then. So thanks all for coming, Lee, Scott, Chris. And don't forget to like the video if you did enjoy and subscribe to see more content. And we shall see you all next time. So see you later, guys.
Hit that like button.
Yeah. Smash it. But yeah, in a bit, guys.